Howdy and welcome. This is Beefalo Bart, and in this video is going to be a review and kind of a peek under the hood of the MPTPS template, or the multiplayer third-person template from Mocap Online. I have provided a link to their website. It's at mocaponline.com, and it's the products page going directly to the UE4 multiplayer third-person shooter blueprint. But that's the link to it. And what it is a blueprint-based third-person shooter that's multiplayer out of the box. You get this thing, you set it up, you run it, and it just works out of the box. Now, I do have to say that if you're going to create a multiplayer game that's a shooter, then this is a great way to go. And I'm just going to glance to make sure I don't have any special plugins enabled right now, like advanced sessions or advanced Steam sessions. This is just running it directly as it is, and I don't have anything special turned on. So it just works out of the box. And honestly, if I were to go ahead and just package this and let it run, it would actually work as a standalone game. Some of you may or may not know that actually using this as part of the core for the shooter demo that I released an early version of last week or so. Come on, stupid YouTube, refresh the page. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hit play while I'm actually in the map. But what it does come with as well is if you go into the multiplayer folder and go to main menu and then hit play here, you get your host game, server list, quit, and Steam enable or LAN enable. You can set it up to go either way. It goes both ways. You can host a game and it'll go right into it and let you do that, or you can actually go to define a game. So this is what it looks like. And of course, keep in mind I'm playing in the standalone window. So what you've got is you're the third-person character. You've got a pistol on your hip and a rifle in your hands. You right-click to go into combat mode, and then you left-click and start shooting. Listen really carefully. You might hear the voice of that guy. What is his name? John Colt. That's it. And one second here. Again, multiple chats going on at one time. Alright, so with that, you go over to your weapon station. You can see right here on the wall, you get your player controls. You hit M to bring up your quit game, and hit it again to make it go away. And you got your regular WSAD movement keys, your mouse to look around, spacebar to jump, C to crouch, left shit. Well, I'm just really hitting those words out tonight, aren't we? Left shift to sprint, left control to walk, so you can poke along. Q to toggle over to your pistol. Right mouse button again turns on your combat mode. Now, let's change back to our primary. We go over to our weapon station, and here we see instructions on the wall. Yeah, YouTube was giving me some issues a while ago. I had to restart everything. If you have your pistol in your hand, it will not work. So if you draw your pistol, you walk over to a weapon station, you're going to get an error sound. So you need to change back over by hitting Q to your primary. You can go from your assault rifle, burst rifle, by hitting the number 1 through 5 keys. So the number 1 is actually the one we started off with, which is our M4. Number 2 is the burst rifle. And when you go into combat mode, you can actually hit your middle mouse button and go into a zoomed mode. And I've been messing with it already, so I figured that this was more suitable as a sniper, so I changed the fire mode. This is a project I've already been screwing around with, so pardon me. I don't normally do that, but let's go ahead and go to 3. Go to shotgun, 4. Got a beam weapon, cool. And of course, number 5 is going to be our rocket launcher. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map really quickly. And you see we've got these guys that are standing around idling and doing their thing. And we can shoot them. And we can kill them. We can reload. Got good animations for that. Let's see. You got health kit pickups. You've got ammo pickups. And the number above them is going to be the amount of rounds you get or the amount of healing you get, which is pretty cool. So, again, player controls are all over the place. Now they've added in these little tramway system to get you from point A to point B, plus some elevators. And let's go over here and try to catch the elevator. Yay, I made it. Okay. So, hey, I'm simple. I like simple things. So, okay. Now, we're going to ride our elevator up, and we get to this platform. We can step on off here and switch over to our pistol. Shoot homeboy in the back of the head. You got me. Love those death sounds. So yes, you guys, your big guys right over there, one over there, and one over there. Let's actually take the trip and let's go over here to this sniper tower. Now, one thing I notice also is, let's go ahead and just take a step. Fall damage. That's a good thing. Good and bad. I would like to go ahead and say that I like having fall damage because it's a little bit more realistic. But one of the other things that I would like to do is just disable it so that I can add in my launch pads. I'm one of those weirdos that I like being able to jump around and stuff. To get up, get out your seat, and jump around. Alright, so got health kits all over the place. And what is this? Caution, acid pools. Just brown liquid, which I normally tend to stay away from. And yes, it does hurt. So if you go in there, it will take your health away. What about this one? Nope, just water. Okay. So let's go over here, and we're going to take a ride. It's pretty cool how it goes back and forth, but it also spins. Come over here, and doors open up. Now what I found, if you're standing right here in the way, if the doors try to close, they won't close. They'll open back up again. Alright, get out of the way, get out of the way.
Exit the vehicle until it has come to a complete stop.
I like the elevator sound. The elevator music needs to be just a little bit louder though. But if you do get out of the way of the doors will actually close. And when you get up here, they'll open back up again. So you do have 1 health and 1 ammo with a really long respawn time. And again, you can just go ahead and jump out here and run across this and get back. Or you can just commit Harry-Carry and just jump off there. So, what do you get? Well, you get a pretty good starting point for creating a game. You've already got weapons. You got the ability to go to a weapons console or a weapon station and change your weapons out. You've got, for an example map, this is actually pretty cool. Come on, make it. Nope, didn't make it. Well, I'm going to walk out here anyway. So what happens, and I know what happens, but what happens whenever you're walking across this to try to sneak across, and that hits you, it will hit and then return itself. So it's like a safety garage door mechanism. So you can actually go down, you get different stairs and so forth. Dude's got some issues up here, isn't he? Got a zombie bone going on. Alright, so you got different stuff. I don't want to show everything here on the map because, you know, I want you to explore around and take a look at it. So if you're going to create a game and you want to just get a head start and you want a good system of animations, weapons, everything to just work so you can focus more on maybe getting started making your maps or things like that. Definitely worth the money to grab this. Again, I've provided a link to their website so you can get it from there. Absolutely awesome. So what can you do with it? besides A, you have a multiplayer game you can just start off with, and you can host and join games and that kind of stuff and just get out there and play. But I'm actually going to go back to the example map. Yeah, the price is down a little bit too, so that's never a bad thing. You know, I actually have not opened up the overview map. It's $79.99 right now. So here on the example map, you got some materials here. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit. So since there is no game mode, I can float around and check this out. So you got the music going all over the place. 178 plus animations and montages. You got elevators, weapons, BPSK platform, epic materials. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on in this right here. You got signs you can place out there, put your own text renders on top of them. You got your this is your base and your surround here for your elevator. So yeah, this is a whole lot to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up a new level, and we're going to make this VR basic just to be different. And the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and I'm going to play with my ball. I mean, get rid of the ball and the cube and all the cubes and the pyramid and delete. I'm going to make me a new folder here, and I'm just going to have a place to put all my shit in here. So I'm going to call it map shit. So I'm going to grab all these guys, throw them in there so we have a nice clean map to work with. And then I'm going to go ahead and select the game mode. Game mode we're going to create as MP_GM, and we're going to go ahead and save all. And I'm just going to call this my test map. No, I can't. I always call mine test map, and you called yours test map. How dare you? Testing. That sounds lovely. We'll just call it testing. So now we have our player start, and I'm just going to grab it, and I'm just going to move it over here, get it out of the way, so it's in the corner. We hit play, and now we have our thing here. And because I have that major OCD, and yes, I know that you can change it in the settings, but it never stays. The mouse cursor when you first hit play. So what I usually do is either inside the map or inside the player itself. In this case, I'm just going to go to Blueprints, open Level Blueprint, and get rid of my event tick. And from here, you can set input to game only, and then want to get player controller. I changed the setting and it doesn't stay. It just always goes back. So set show mouse cursor to false, and that's it. So if you want to add in some background sounds, you can do that here as well, and you can have it playing if you want or whatever. I'm just going to leave that as it is. Now we go into play, we can just go in here and do it. Just easy. We got in here and created a map. But what if we want to add weapons and change your weapons and get a weapon station? Well, Blueprints folder. Right here in the Blueprints folder, we got our weapon station, and grab it, and okay, bang, throw it right in the map. Done. It works. So if we go ahead and play, walk over here, I can change my weapons, and there we go. Now the elevator, here's where it's kind of cool. Let's grab the elevator, and I'm going to go ahead and set it right here in the corner. So I want it to actually be right there as low as I possibly can. I'm just going to move it over here so it's not clipping through in this part of the texture. I don't care if it goes to the bottom. You see this kind of purple looking diamond right there? That's my end location. That's where the elevator is going to stop. So if I just place it in the map and let it ride, you see it's going to come up to there, and that's as far as it's going to go, because it only goes up to that little purplish diamond thing. So come over here, we select our elevator, scroll down over here into our details panel, and we have our travel time. So that's your speed going up and down, your stop delay, how long it actually stops for, and then our end location. I'm going to change my end location. We're going to guess here at about 500. I know it's wrong, but you see this little purple diamond thing here raised up. So we see this is our end location. So let's actually try it at 550. We can try it again at 600. Now we can see about where it's going to stop. So now if we come over here, let it play, just that easy. We've custom adjusted the elevation for our elevator, or elevation for the elevator, yeah, whatever, you get what I'm saying. So I'm actually going to take it back down to 550, and that's good. Travel time, let's try it at 2. Let's see what happens. Bloop, a lot faster. And we can change our delay time for how long it actually will stay up and down. So we can adjust the speed, the time, and the height of our elevator to have our own custom elevation system here. Now if you want to change the textures on it, if you actually look at the blueprint, and I'm actually not going to look at his script, I don't want you to be trying to steal it here. You come up here and you got the brick. So you got your elevator trim. If you want to make your own custom elevator trim or even delete it, you can just, well, right now, just hit the delete key and that'll go away. And then you got your base platform right here. If you want to change it, it's already got the starter content in there. So I'm going to change that to the concrete tiles and change the elevator trim. Or I don't know, let's change it to chrome. Oh, I am clicking on the wrong thing like a jackass. So here we got for each one of the 2 here. So let's actually learn how to spell or Chrome. So there, and then let's try this one. And there. So we just changed those 2 end pieces over to Chrome, and then if we want to change the other ones over to something else, like, oh, I don't know, let's be weird and go with gold. I am not doing well. I don't see gold. What did you do? Take gold out? We'll make it copper. I don't care. So we just changed the overall look of the entire thing to copper, chrome, and concrete. It all starts with a C. Sounds lovely to me. But you can customize it that way. Same thing with any of the ones in here. But all your major customization you don't really need to do unless you're trying to change the looks of it. So let's actually wait for it to come down. Now we can go in our new styled out elevator, ride it up to the top, and there we go. Walk smoothly right off and get into our elevator. The platforms, I haven't messed with those yet. I'm assuming that they have similar kind of functionality to it. The end location, so you can set your XYZ of your actual, how far you want it to travel. The travel time and the delay is the same, how long it takes to get there and how long it stays. The end rotation, so if you want it to spin around, that's fine. But what happens if you want to change it to where you actually can dump them over? Yeah, it didn't look like all the starter content was in there. What I usually do whenever I'm building my projects is I'll add the starter content into a package, then I'll go through and I'll rip out 90% of it and only leave in the textures and the materials. I'll get rid of everything else just because I want to save space. You want to add in the acid lake. There we go. You can just drag it in there and drop it in. Well, since you'd want to put this in a divot or a hole or something, what I'm going to actually do is drag it over here next to the elevator so that we can step off the elevator into it and just kind of experiment with it. So you want to like create a crevice into the ground for this to sit in. I'm just going to stick it over here so we can go to it and see. So what happens if we run over here and we're standing underneath it, but we stick our head into it, it starts causing us damage. Alright, come on. Elevator up. So now we walk over here and step into it. We'll fall into it. We'll actually fall through because it's set to be a collision. But you see that just by placing it into our map, it's going to go ahead and give us the damage. But if we had all that damage, then I'm just going to place it back in the map. I don't know why I deleted it there. I'm going to place it into the map so we can walk into it and create damage. Because what good is creating damage or whatever if you have no way of actually fixing it? So there's conveniently a pickups folder. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drop 1 into the map and I'm going to drop 2 into the map. Got an ammo pickup and a health pickup. Now, by putting them in there, when I drop this health pickup into it, one suggestion for the next little upgrade. See how it's actually starts off when you place it into the map as the blueprint. It's actually in the ground just a hair. Go into the blueprint, go into your viewport, and you want to find the SM health, which is the skeletal mesh, and the text render, and the sphere collision. Select all 3 of those, and then you're wanting to raise them up just a little bit. If you've got snapping turned on, try 2, and whatever goes into the map, let's try 3. That'll put it just above the level of the ground so it'll work better. So that's all we're going to do to that one, is just drag those 3 up, hit compile and save, and then I'm going to do the same thing for my ammo. Viewport, grab all 3 of these guys, and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. So we're going up 30, and compile and save, and that one should be good. So you see where it just says text right there. What does that mean? Okay, well, if we look at it and we select our health, okay, our text is just going to show up as text for right now. That's fine. But our default health, the amount of health that we want to give, is set to right now. If we go in here, it says 10 with a respawn of 10. So if we look at it, we go in here, it says 10, and it's spinning, and it's above the ground. So I'm going to damage myself a little bit, and then grab my health kit. So it's going to give me 10 health by doing that. And then I don't need any ammo right now, so it's not going to give me any ammo. But what happens now is if we go in here and we click on our health master, or our ass master, or health master, yeah, that's right. Amount of health to heal. Let's go ahead and jack that puppy up to 100. And now when we go in here to play, it actually says 100. So if we sit here and just stew for just a few minutes to knock our health down, come in here and boom, it's going to give us 100 health back. So just that easy. Whenever you put one into the map, you can actually tell it that I want to do 25 health, and I want the respawn timer to set at 5 seconds. So now if we play, we see we just change it to 25 health to heal from, and I want to do a pretty good amount of damage. Then we'll come over here, it disappears, and now we wait, and there we go, it's back again. So we can adjust the respawn time and the amount of health that it's going to heal, and that works for the ammo as well. If you want to give it 10 rounds or 100 rounds, and you want to take 1 second to respawn, or 60 seconds, which is a full minute for those who didn't know, or 120 for 2 minutes, you can just set it for the number of seconds for the respawn. So that's pretty awesome. You can actually trigger that. We just changed it to 100, and now we can see the number went from text to 100, so we see it as 100 in the game. Alright, that's awesome. We've got 2 basic pickups, our health and our ammo, and we can adjust them. So now if I want this to do 25 and I want it to wait for 20 seconds on my respawn, and once I've created that, I can go ahead and Control C and Control V, which is going to copy and paste, and I can just start putting them around the map that way. So coolness. Now, as I mentioned before, one of the things that I did was I modified one of the weapons. And I modified the burst rifle. It's no longer a burst rifle. It's actually a sniper rifle with zoom. So what I did to do that, and I'm not saying you have to do this. Yeah, that was the whole point of this. In the name it says MP. The first part is for multiplayer, so it is replicated. So this works. This is multiplayer right out of the box. I mean, you've got a working game you can start off with, and then you're free to just start making your own custom maps and just really have a ball with it. So I went to the weapons, I went to the blueprints, weapons, and it's stupid easy to create your own weapons in here, as long as you got your skeletal meshes and everything to work with. Like I do with most of mine, I combine things with the polygon stuff from Synty Studios, and the play version of my game that I've released uses this this multiplayer template from Mocap Online, and made by Mr. John Galt there. It uses this same core, and it also uses the Synty Studios, the Polygon Heist, and the Polygon City asset packs. Combine those three together, and essentially you pretty much have an instant game. You could put all three of those together, and in a couple hours time you've got a playable game, and that's pretty much what I've done. Autosave, kiss my behind. I don't like autosave, and it doesn't stay as a permanent thing. I have to do this for every project, is I disable autosave. Just my personal preference. So, as I was saying, with the burst rifle, I go into the blueprint for it, and we're going to leave it like this. I mean, even if I open up my full blueprint editor, there's nothing you're going to see inside here. There's nothing for you to rip off and steal by looking at that. So, if you look at the root here of the BPC weapon, burst rifle, if you want to change things, like the name, burst rifle to sniper rifle, I wouldn't mess with the muzzle socket and the weapon hand socket name. If you guys want, I can show more detail on how to set up custom weapons for this. There's already videos out there, but if you want me to do it, I'd be glad to. You have your firing mode and the weapon animation type. If it's a rifle, you select rifle. If it's a pistol, you select pistol. This is a rifle, so I'm going to leave it as that. Firing mode, single fire, auto fire, burst fire, multi-fire, or stream fire. The beam weapon is stream fire. Multi-fire, I would assume, would be shotgun. Burst fire is like 3-shot burst mode. If you did burst mode, you can set the burst fire shots per. So if you wanted to fire 10 rounds, you put 10 right there. So whenever you pull the trigger, you want 10 bullets to come out. And in rapid fire, that's what you would do for that. I'm going to leave it in single fire mode because I made a sniper rifle out of it. Projectile is none, because it's utilizing a hit scan method for doing its damage. You can set the amount of damage, the rate of fire, the spread. If you want your sniper rifle to be more accurate, you take that and we'll say put it at 0.25 instead of 0.35 or whatever. If you want to go back to the default of 0, you could do that. I already forgot what I had it. Was it 0.35 was the original? Your max ammo count, your max clip size. I hate the word clip. It is not a clip. It is a magazine. Magazine size for a sniper rifle should be between 5 and 10 rounds. We're going to put it at 5. We're going to increase the amount of ammo you can hold on you to 120 rounds for your max ammo. That sounds lovely. If you want to change your impacts, that's fine. These already work pretty good for your sounds. You want to change your weapon sounds, like Sniper Q. These are ones that I believe I added in here. Yes, naming conventions are always going to annoy the crap out of me. Yeah, if there's an assets folder in here, chances are I've already yeah, audio and gunshots. So I've added in my sounds because I like them, because I made them. So still got to finish that the burst sound. Let's grab our burst weapon now, and now we can see we have ammo is 120 and our magazine capacity is 5. And it says sniper rifle instead of being burst weapon. But just that quick, if we want to change that rifle sound and go to a different one. Now, I'm going to leave it as the burst rifle here, but if I want to create my own weapon, I'll show you that in a different video. I'll cover basics of it, but it's easier than you would think because they've already done their homework when setting up this asset pack and this system. So, it's your muzzle flash, sniper Q right there. If I wanted to create another one, let's go to my gunshots. I've already created one called 9mm Q. I want to change my sniper rifle sound from to maybe that or that. Let's change it to that just for the sake of it. I've created a 9mm Q, and you look at your output, your attenuation settings. If you already have a custom attenuation set up, then that's where you would apply that. You could also override your attenuation, which is something that I suggest as well looking into, and setting your inner and outer radius so your sound plays, but it's only within a certain radius. So if I'm sitting in a sniper spot 5 miles away from everybody else and I fire, they're not going to hear my gunfire. So this was a problem that I did notice with the sniper rifles, or some of the rifles in here that were, the attenuation wasn't set on there, but very, very minor issue. Minor issue. So by setting the attenuation in the 9mm Q, I can come back over here, scroll down, change my Q to 9mm Q. Just that quickly, I've changed my sound file. And now if I come in here and grab my sniper rifle, there you go. Of course, I don't like it with that one. I like it with the sniper rifle Q, but compile and save. Creating a new weapon, which let me make sure that I set my Q, because this is one that I made, and override attenuation. And we're going to leave that setting that's right there, so it does have attenuation. It forces its own attenuation settings. But if you want to add your own custom weapon, what I generally do is I don't generally, because this is a sample project that I'm kind of screwing around with, but if I'm going to make a modification to like the pistol, I'm not actually going to modify theirs. And if I want to make a 1911, I'm not just going to copy this one right here. It's going to take a little longer, but it's not that horrible to do. You go to your weapons master, you go to your BP weapon master, you right click and create child blueprint class, and I'll call this 1911 whatever. I'm going to delete it in a few minutes anyway. When you open it up, when you're creating your own custom weapon, first off, what I would suggest doing, if you're going to do that, go ahead and create a new folder for it in the weapons folder, and I'm just going to call this 1911. Go back to my master folder, and I'm just going to drag that into the new folder we created for it. That way you can keep it isolated, and when you go into it, you don't have to open up the full blueprint editor, but I'm going to do it anyway, because if you want to change your weapon look, this is where you're going to have to create your mesh and assign your mesh for your weapon. I didn't add any custom meshes in, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab the 1911 pistol that's already in here. So there we go. And just going to use this one as my example for setting up a custom weapon in here. So we go back up to 1911 self. And I'm going to go ahead and compile and save because I know me. The weapon name is going to be 1911. The weapon, I hate whenever it cuts it off here like that. If you're going to be editing this stuff, bring it out a little bit so you can edit it. The muzzle socket name, if you don't know what it is and you want to find out what it is, now I do suggest if you're adding custom weapons in that you actually create a socket for your weapon in the hand so that it goes in the correct location. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm copying an existing one already. So I'm just going to refer to this one instead of actually going to the skeleton for the character. And I can go ahead and say, well, the muzzle socket name is going to be muzzle underscore socket. So I'm going to hit Control C, and then I'm going to paste it in here. Same thing with the weapon socket. This one we know works because it was already in the game. So we're just making our own version of this. We're actually going to call ours, instead of 1911, we're going to call it 2011. And no, I'm not making that up. There is actually a weapon called a 2011 or 2011. Look it up. It's made by STI in Texas. Awesome company. I have an STI 1911 sitting underneath my fingers right there. So, weapon animation state is going to be a pistol. And firing mode is going to be single fire. We could make it into a beam weapon if we wanted to, or auto fire or burst or whatever, but I'm just going to go ahead and set it to single fire, and I'm going to change it a little bit here. Burst fire, we're not doing bolt burst or multi-fire. Has scope, no. Projectile, none. Now here's the sphere trace radius. You can copy some of this stuff right here. 2, 0, 5,000. So it's 2, 0, 5,000 is our range. So I'm setting my rate of fire is 0. It's set to 0 right there. We could adjust that if we wanted to, but our range is 5,000. Our spread, that's set to 30. Well, we're going to pretend this is an STI, which means that it's better than everybody else, so it's more accurate. So instead of 30 for our spread, we're actually going to, and I screwed up my beam rifle, or my burst rifle, sniper rifle. So instead of 30, we're going to put it at like 3, because STIs are naturally more accurate than anything else on the planet. They are. You don't believe it? Buy one. Cooldown 0.02. This is how fast you can pull the trigger. So our max ammo size, we're going to pretend this is actually, oh, I don't know, one of their higher end ones. One of my favorites, like, oh, I don't know, the limited. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and give it 21 round magazine capacity, and, or excuse me, 210 for our ammo, max ammo, and our magazine size is set to 21. And then is hit scan weapon. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a yes. So yes, it is a hit scan weapon. The type of damage that it's doing is going to be explosive damage, not bullet damage. And then we can kind of emulate what we already have here on this one, which is 3, 12, 8. And the critical hit multiplier was 3. Said 3, 12, 8. Yep. 12 for the scan damage. And then 8 for the minimum on the scan damage. So here's where we go ahead and compile and save, because I've gone through here setting up a weapon, and I was all the way down here in setting up the animations. I was here. I was on the last one, and frickin' Unreal Engine 4 decided it was going to crash, and I lost every bit of the save that I was working on. So again, you can constantly refer to, if you're trying to make a pistol, you can actually refer to these right here and be able to kind of get it. After you do it a few times, you kind of get used to it. So we want our hit scan impact default, and if not mistaken, it was assault rifle impact concrete Q, and then our hit scan default impact, I forgot that one. Yeah, it is the assault rifle IH. So it's right here. Hit scan default impact, and then hit scan character. This one was fully flesh jib Q, and oh, I forgot this one. Yeah, body bullet impact. Well, that makes sense. body, bullet, impact. So body underscore bullet impact. So this is actually the impact of it hitting the character. Whenever I was steady working with this project more, then I remember what each one of these were. So I finished with this section. Again, compile, save, just in case. Now, dry fire sound, and you can do this any way you want. And apparently I didn't put my sound in here. I had a custom sound for the click sound. But there is the assault rifle empty Q. The muzzle flash was assault rifle MF. Single fire sound was oh, that was my 9mm Q. Auto fire, we don't have auto fire. Weapon equip sound was assault rifle equip Q. Sounds good enough. And just going through drop down boxes, setting these things up is so easy. Reload sound, well, okay, well, here's assault rifle reload Q. Sounds good enough for now. And we finish a section. We're getting ready to go into the animation. And since we are working with this right here, if you take your time and think about it, and without having to refer to cheating from the other one, the weapon, stand, fire, mon. What does that mean? Well, think about it. Mon is the montage for the animation montage. The naming convention here, it doesn't match up as perfectly with here, but we know that we're working with a pistol, so it's going to be, and I'm going to type it all out the first time, but I'll show you the shortcut to it. So it's mon space pis for pistol, and then it's a stand, so we want to stand, and it's a single fire, so weapon with montage pistol standing single fire. Make sense? But I'm going to change it to single fire powerful, so it's got some recoil to it, which I'll have to change the rate of fire. So let's go back up here and change the rate of fire from cooldown of 0.02 to 0.2. We'll just slow it down a little bit, and we'll see. We want to make it more like it's a Magnum. We're going to be shooting this awesome, cool thing, but we're going to pretend that's a 460 Roland or a 960 Roland. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a 960 Roland, so it's more powerful. If you're not familiar with the 960 Roland, essentially it takes a 9mm, regular 9mm, and converts it into a Magnum type version of it, and it makes your 9mm Glock or other pistol into capability of a 357 Magnum. But if you have a 45 ACP, like old STI sitting right here, you can convert that to 460 Roland, and it actually has pretty much the same power as a 44 Magnum out of a 1911. Pretty sick, really sick. Alright, so the same thing goes for here. We see that it's the weapon, crouch, fire, montage. So you don't have to type in the mon each time. So we do want to type in pis for pistol, space, and we know that it's crouch, and it's a single fire, and we're going to do powerful just for the sake of it. So if you know how to interpret what you're seeing right here, you can skip the mon because it's a montage. That's what all of these are. So we're looking at here pis, stand, and we're on a aim and switch. So aim and then put away, and we're dealing with a pistol. We're going to use the pistol, put away, and rifle retrieve is what we're doing. You have to make sure that you look at the mon pis. Come on, mon pis. Yeah. Hey, I didn't make this stuff up. This guy over here did, so blame him. So again, we click on the drop-down box, and we're on a pistol. We are standing. We are relax, and we are switching. So pistol, relax, put away, rifle. So we're good there. And again, we just want to read off what's right here. So we know that we're looking for a pistol, which is the weapon, and we're looking for crouch, aim, and then put away, rifle, retrieve. Yeah, I know how that goes. But wait a minute, I am that guy that sets up my team's naming conventions, and I'm really, really particular about all of it. I'm going to compile and save just because I know me. So again, click on the next one. We're almost done with this, and I'll show you how we can change that to our primary. So let's go ahead and go with, we're on pistol, space, crouch, relaxed, and it is a put away. So now we're into the last four, which are reloads. So we know that they're going to be reloads, and it's going to be a pistol, and we are stand, aim, reload, and there it is. And pistol, this one's stand, relaxed, and just type out what you see right there. And like I said, just look at weapon. We know the weapon is a pistol, so PIS. It's a crouch, aim, reload, and there it is. And the last one is crouch, relaxed, reload. And that set up all of our animations for our weapon that we just created. And in this case, we actually created a version of the 1911. Do not set variables. Don't mess with any of the other stuff down here. Replication is all fine. Your input, everything should be good to go at this point. So now all you have to do is compile and save, and then close these guys up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save all just to make sure that I got everything saved. Now, I want my character to start with that pistol, because currently there's no way of easily just switching it out. Thinking, well, I've got this pistol right now. I can shoot that one and reload. That's 12 shots. We got that sound. But I want my player to start with that one. So what I can do here is go into my characters, blueprints, BP Master Character. Again, I don't want to showcase any of this right here. So I'm just going to scroll off to the side. And with the primary selected, we're looking right here. Our maxed health is set to 100, which is normal. Our rifle weapon that we start with is going to be that BPC underscore wep underscore assault rifle. And the pistol is BPC underscore blah, blah, blah. Click that. But I'm going to change it to 1911. Which we ended up calling 2011. But whatever. I just changed what my starting weapons are going to be. Rifle and pistol. This is going to be the M4. This could be the 1911. Now I can hit compile and save. Takes a little longer to compile and save these because it's a lot in that file. So now if I go in here, hit Q, and you can see it changed in the bottom left hand corner to say 2011. And we have 21 rounds in the magazine. You see that? Bam! There's a heavy recoil. So we need to adjust the speed so that it actually is more along the lines with what the animations are. So you can just go in here, open that up, and that would be on my cooldown. Is I'm going to change it to 1, not 10, 1, and we'll see how that looks. So if we go back in here and play. Now, hit Q to go to our pistol. Hit right mouse button to go into combat. So you got a 1 second delay between our shooting times. I'm trying to shoot faster, and it seems to be working out pretty good with the reload, with the time that it takes to come back on target. So we got this heavy recoil and much more powerful pistol, so let's actually make it more powerful. So we'll look at right here. Everything else is good. Hit scan, critical multiplier, max damage, minimum damage. Let's change it to, well, see, here's the problem. If you change this too much, yeah, what happened was pistol that I set up in my other project was set a little bit too OP, and people were able to switch over to the pistol and just blast with it. It was doing more damage than anything else in the entire game. So I wouldn't get crazy with changing the power of it, but I'm just going to change it to 20, and we'll put the minimum to 10. We're going to leave it at that, compile and save, and we're done editing the 1911. And that's how you can make your own custom weapons. If you've got your own custom skeletal meshes, you can bring them in that way as well. So I'm going to go back map-wise, and I'm going to go back to the test map. And we're going to shoot some of these minions that are sitting out here with our new 1911 or 2011.
No, please don't shoot me again, please. No, I don't even.
I know he's saying that, oh no, my guts are falling out.
That's what I'm talking about.
But for the longest time, I thought he was saying, oh my god, my nuts are falling out. So, you know. See, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it sounds like he's saying, oh my god, my nuts are falling out.
I mean, I don't think.
When I say he, I mean John there.
No, please don't shoot me again, please. No, I don't even have any guns. No, please stop. Man, what are you even doing? You couldn't kill your way out of a wet paper bag.
You couldn't kill your way out of a wet paper bag. Love it, John. Alright, so get ready to start wrapping things up on this. Easy to work with. Pretty much what you got out of the box is a third-person multiplayer shooter template, is like it says. Out of the box, you grab it, you open it up, and experiment with it for a few minutes, but then you just start making your own maps. You got plenty enough to work with anyway. Combine it with other asset packs if you want to see what that looks like. You can check some of my other videos that I had on my game that I released just recently as a demo, and it's using this template here along with the stuff from Cinti Studios, the Polygon assets, and created a whole different kind of environment. Check those videos out. I've got several videos on them already within the last week, actually. And yeah, this just gets a thumbs up for me as well. The MP-TPS template, or the multiplayer TPS template from Mocap Online, it's available there. You can also check with John Galt. He is got another YouTube channel, and he is the the driving force behind this actual package here, and he's got some other stuff that's going to be coming out soon too. So, hope everybody enjoyed this video, and if you like the way this thing looks, this TPS package or template works, give it a try. I mean, it sounds like it's a whole lot of money. Oh my god, it's $80. It's on sale, or it's been reduced to $80. It's well worth it. I mean, besides this little cool yet slightly cheesy map, you get this stuff right here. Build your own custom maps with it. It's easy to switch over. I've converted it over to the Polygon assets. I've actually had Shinbi from Paragon out here running around with the pistol and the rifle and shooting. I've actually done the same thing with other character assets from the marketplace that are based off of the same UE4 mannequin rig, some cyborgs and some other stuff too. So it's really easy to work with. It's really easy to add your own custom characters to it. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even retarget and change the guys over here that are just animating and standing around. I've had my own moving characters that were set up. Die. There. So, yeah. Well worth the bucks. Because what you get out of the box is the ability to focus on building your map. at first and start making your maps. Make some cool content. I made quite a few different maps for this and deleted most of them. But yeah, you can just focus on what's important. And everybody likes being a map maker. Everybody wants to be a map maker. So focus in on building your maps. Enough said on that. Go to the website, buy it, install it, use it. If you're trying to make a third-person shooter, it's a great way to start. Alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this, and we're almost to the hour mark on this video. So that's about all I want to do for, you know, any streamed, to give people a chance to jump in and say hello or ask questions about the assets or whatever else. And alright, I will be looking at some other stuff. Oh my god, I hear banjos. Definitely a time to go. So I'm going to be doing some more reviews here soon. Probably not anymore tonight, but every day or so, and especially whenever I get something new. If you guys wanted to see anything reviewed, send it to me, and I will be glad to do a video on it. I guess thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Yep, paddle faster. I'm hearing banjos.